And what we want to do now is talk a little more about Claudine Luera, who she was. We know she was a mother and beloved by everybody who knew her. And I want to welcome in now a guest that I am honored to have, because this is the first time she is speaking publicly about her mom since her mom was killed. I want to welcome in Sierra Munguia. She is Claudine's daughter, Claudine's oldest child. Claudine was a mother of 5. Sierra, thank you so much for coming on the show, and I am so sorry. I am deeply sorry, and on behalf of everyone at Court TV Network, I want to convey to you our deepest condolences about your mother and what happened to her. She deserved to live, and we are so sorry that you are having to go through this, you and your family members having to sit through this trial with Juan David Ortiz, and it is so heartbreaking. I want to cry with you, I really do, and it's whatever you need to do here. I know this is upsetting, and so just know that we feel you, we feel the heartbreak, we feel the tears, and we want to show some beautiful pictures you were kind enough to send to us, Sierra. Thank you so much for being so generous with these beautiful photos. I know you were the oldest of your mom's 5 kids. She had 2 sets of twins after you. So would you just start by just telling us a little bit about your family, about your mom, the person that she was, and about what it was like growing up with her, please?
My mom was a stay-at-home mother. She was single by the time I was probably like 5 years old, so she did it all on her own. 5 children. My younger siblings, 3 of my brothers have autism. They're on 3 different parts of the spectrum. And she was always home. She always cooked for us. She made us like the best food. Best like sopitas, that's like soup in Spanish, spaghetti, anything we wanted. She would make the tortillas from scratch with the masa and flour, you know, like all of that takes a lot of work. She loved to use her hands. Her hands were always rough, and she would tell us, that's how you know I work really hard. But she didn't have a job, just taking care of us. It was hard. You know, she had her own battles, her own demons. She lost her mother when I was like in 2008. I think that was the start of where things really started to, you know, hit rock bottom, because my grandmother, which was her mother, was the backbone of our family. And when she passed, things just changed. Within my mom, it just got harder for her to raise us alone.
She was like Superwoman, you know, raising 5 kids on her own. And then when you suffer a loss like that, you know, your mom losing her mom, I would imagine they were probably best of friends, just like you were with your mom.
I mean, you know, they didn't have a perfect relationship, but they were really close. My mom really loved her, and my grandma really loved my mom.
There's a picture of them right there. Isn't that your grandma? You just thought, oh, I don't know if you can see. Maybe you can't see on a monitor.
I can't see, sorry.
Great,
no,
that's okay. No, that's all right. I'm pretty sure you sent us one. I thought we just showed your mom.
Yeah, you may have.
Yeah, they both are just beautiful, just like you, Sierra.
Oh, thanks.
And your mom went through a lot. I know she went through a lot. I read that it was a stark change with her, that everybody who knew her to be so happy, and one of those people that was always smiling, always full of joy, always really spreading joy. Funny, yes. And that it was kind of like a stark shift happening.
She was so charismatic.
Yeah, tell us more. What was she like in her best years?
In her best years, she was so funny, like the funniest person, like just her personality. She was, the way she would respond, like she would be like, what the hoot? Like, I don't know, I always remember her saying that. Like just random things, like she just was, you know, very thoughtful, very caring, very motherly. Like she loved us, she loved her children so much, you know? She loved her children so much. And even when things got bad, you know, she said it was for the best. You know, the reason why like the removal of her children from her custody. You know, in her eyes, it was because she couldn't care for us the way she wanted to care for us. So us going with other family members was just the best thing for our family. And we didn't understand then, but now looking back, I do appreciate what she did and how she did it for our best interest, because she was struggling. And she never, like, you know, wanted to tell me she struggled with her addiction, but she said it in other ways. You know, she didn't plain out tell me like, oh, I'm addicted to heroin, but you know, she had other ways to say, I'm dealing with my mugreros, as she'd call it, which means like my mess. And that just, you know, like she tried and she tried really hard. Prior to her being murdered, I had taken her to rehab in Corpus Christi, Texas, at Charlie's place. She detoxed. She got a certificate. And she went back home. She just couldn't handle it. She tried and she tried, but the addiction had consumed her. And she knew that. She would send me the most beautiful messages just saying how much she loved me and how sorry she was. I think that's like what keeps me sane, just knowing how much she loved us. And that she's still here with us. Maybe not her body, but she's definitely still here, all around us now, whereas before she couldn't be. And I believe that.
Absolutely, Sierra. Her spirit, her love, everything she gave you when she was with you on this earth is still with you and your siblings in your hearts forever. And I know your mother would be so proud of you right now as you're seeking justice for her and you're standing up for her and you're being so strong and caring for your siblings, and you're a mother as well. You're a mother to a beautiful little one as well. I know she would be so proud of you, and I know this isn't easy. I know it is not easy to talk to me right now, and we thank you so much for that. You have to be so strong, and this is the first time I know you've spoken out about your mom, and I know you told me off camera just a short time ago that you've wanted to talk, but it's hard because you all have been through so much trauma. This has been such a struggle, and you all still need to heal and care for yourselves. And tell me, kind of, you know, looking back in time, I know now you just made the point that you can see a little more clearly why things had to be the way they were when your mom said, I can't be caring for you all right now because of her own struggles with heroin, which is the most awful addiction. I mean, I've seen it ruin so many lives, Sierra, and I was telling you off camera how I used to work as a prosecutor, and something I would see oftentimes with cases involving prostitution, involving drug possession, involving theft, was really good people who had a terrible series of events happen to them that nobody ever set out to wind up in the circumstances they wind up in, but somehow, you know, they do. And you mentioned, you know, the addiction, being upset. I think I read your mom was suffering from some depression too with the loss of her mom. Were you aware that she was then doing some work on the street, working in prostitution? That's according to police there.
Yeah, that didn't start till much later, but I believe she was just in a relationship she shouldn't have been with a man who, you know, took advantage of her. Ultimately, I think my mother in life wanted to be loved, and her children loved her, and she loved her children. But, you know, she was just searching for voids in all the wrong places. She didn't start prostitution until she lost custody of us, and that was a major shift. Once that happened, that's when things, once she lost custody of us, that's when things started really hitting the fan, and that's when she began working the streets and living on the street. She never lived like that when she had custody of us. It was until she lost us that maybe really set her off the deep end. And, you know, they tried to get her help. They scheduled, you know, visits with us. CPS was involved. You know, the first year was to get us back together, and she had already given up. And that's when she had been arrested, and my siblings Googled it, and I didn't know why, but we found out why because of Google. And that's when we found out that she was prostituting. When I would ask her about it, she would tell me, you know, I'm not a prostitute. I was at the wrong place at the wrong time. And she would tell me, like, she cooks and she cleans people's houses. I think that was so I could have my closure. And, like, you know, what I tell others my mother did because she knew I was embarrassed, that's why she got arrested, because she did get arrested for prostitution a couple of times.
You know, nobody wants to wind up in that position. I know your mom certainly did not, and I could understand why she wouldn't want that to be her legacy. And I know you don't want that to be the case either, Sierra, and there was so much good that your mom did while she was on the earth with you and your siblings, and we want to hear more about that. I read a little known fact about her in the Laredo Morning Times that she actually interned with the district attorney's office way back when, at the time she was getting her GED. So I want to talk more with you about those good things and also about how this trial has been for you. While they're on a break, are you okay to stay with us, Sierra, as we take a quick commercial break, and then you and I will continue this conversation on the other side?
As long as, I think they're coming back at I'm so sorry. I think they're coming back at 1:30, so as long as it's within that time frame, I would like to be present for court, as long as it doesn't prolong.
No problem. We'll make sure you're back in court on time. Thank you so much, Sierra Munguia, talking with us about her mom, Claudine Luera. We're going to squeeze in a break. We'll be right back with more after this.
In 2018, a killer walked the streets of Laredo, Texas.
He took advantage of the vulnerability of this community.
I mean, there was a lot of fear.
Former Border Patrol agent Juan David Ortiz,
accused of killing 4 women.
Ortiz carried out these murders in a cold and callous way.
Now he faces a jury and life in prison if convicted.
The Border Patrol serial killer trial. Live coverage today on Court TV.
When she squat down to take a piss, she fell down. That's like, man. That's when you let off a few rounds on that? Yeah. Can you remember how many times you shot her? Usually.
Welcome back to Court TV Live. We're watching the Border Patrol agent serial killer trial playing out in San Antonio, Texas. And we have on the program a very special guest, the daughter of one of the victims on this case, victim Claudine Luera's daughter, Sierra Munguia, speaking out publicly for the first time about her mother to us here on Court TV Live. We were just speaking with Sierra before the break. We want to bring her back in now to talk some more. Sierra, if you can hear me, I want to talk a little bit to you about where you were when you first got the news about your mother being killed.
Passing. So it's kind of breaking up a little, sorry, but where I was when I first found out.
Yeah, take us back to that time. How did you find out?
So when we had found out about the first body being found, my mom had shared some concerns with me because, in better terms, that was like her coworker. And it just like gave her like the chills and stuff. It made her really nervous. That weekend that they found the first body, me and my mom actually spent the night together. We hadn't spent the night together in over 5 years. And that's how you could tell, I could tell something was different. I'm not saying that I knew it was coming, but I'll get to that. So then I was working at a plasma center downtown in Laredo, and a normal shift. I went in at 1, I'd get out like at 9. We had lunch early. I got Starbucks. I came back and I felt uneasy. I wasn't on my phone. I had put my phone in the locker. My manager comes up to me and she says that somebody's in the front and they're looking for me. And nobody had ever gone to work to look for me, so I was like, who is it? And she was like, it's your aunt. And I just kept on looking down and she said, what's wrong? What's going on? You don't even know why she's here. My manager didn't know at the time either. She was like, just go approach her. She needs to talk to you. And I knew. I walked over to the front and I could just see my aunt's expression. And I ran to the back. At this time, I didn't know what happened. When I get really anxious, I start to throw up. So my immediate reaction was me throwing up, like profusely. And it was in the workplace. I ran out. It was everywhere. Everybody was just staring at me, and they still hadn't told me what happened. But I knew. And she had like a really abusive ex-boyfriend who, to my knowledge, was in prison at the time. But he was the first person that came to mind because I often thought he was gonna kill her. And I didn't know. And as soon as I got into the car, I looked at my phone and one of the media in Laredo had already released her name. And I hadn't told my siblings yet. And we were all gonna go to meet them to tell them together. And I just started getting messages and messages. And
Sure.
after that, my world became very dark.
I can't even imagine, Sierra. So question for you, please. You said your mom had a boyfriend who was abusive. What was that boyfriend's name?
It was like an ex-boyfriend. I can't share that.
You can't share that?
No, because I'm afraid.
Okay. I guess what I'm wondering is, the person the state of Texas says murdered your mother is Juan David Ortiz. So my question is...
She was not his boyfriend. That was not her boyfriend.
Not him. Gotcha. Okay.
No.
Okay, just wanted to clarify that. Do you know if your mother had any kind of intimate contact with him?
Not at all.
Okay.
And to his confession, he claims to not have known her.
Mm-hmm. Now, I know that the state of Texas could pursue the death penalty with Juan David Ortiz. We know that's an option, but they decided to pull back after they said they had conversations with family members like yourself, perhaps, about wanting to respect the wishes of the victim's family members. Did you have any conversations with prosecutors about it?
Yeah, we had a family meeting, we're basically all together for a reason. It wasn't a family meeting, but I really love these people and, we're struggling together and I'm happy to have them because we're not alone. We all got together at the DA's office and it's been really hard for all families. And we want this to end and to get justice. If they were to pursue the death penalty, the reasoning behind it was he can appeal it, and this can prolong for another 30 years maybe. That's just an example. So we decided not to go with the death penalty.
Understood. Certainly a respectable decision, and I wanted to know how you felt about that. It's good to know there was a meeting and a consensus among everyone. Sierra, before we let you go, how do you want your mom to be remembered?
As a beautiful, funny, witty woman that she was, a mother, the way she loved her children, the love she instilled in me, and that's how I'm able to be resilient today, to stand here and speak.
You are so resilient. You are so resilient, Sierra. We all admire your courage and bravery so much. You are a tremendous advocate for your mom. There may be lawyer advocates in the courtroom working to represent the state of Texas where you are, but you're also a tremendous advocate as well. So please don't forget that. And thank you for being so generous with your time and sharing all of those personal stories with us. Every good wish, and would be glad to talk to you again anytime if you'd like.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
I appreciate you too.